Without going into much details, Kenya is secure along its borders because of us in KDF. We will be judged by the effectiveness of how we perform our duty. And currently, by and large, other than some minor incursions which are reported here and there, we are secure. And even those incursions, they are not just happening. When I took over, my first aim was to understand my role, and then secondly, engage the entire military to appreciate my vision and what I want to achieve. So in the last 100 days, I've been able to elaborate on my vision, which I've crystallized, with a phrase of one force, one mission, to be able to bring everybody together, to understand what our role is, and focused on the one mission we have of defending the sovereignty of the Republic of Kenya. I have also, in the last 100 days, been able to appreciate the entire force, be able to visit the locations where we are deployed, both internally and externally, and I more or less have an understanding of the entire force, and also been able to articulate where I want to take the force to be an effective military in performing its mission.
In terms of enhancing Kenya's territorial integrity, what would you say is what KDF has been able to achieve towards that front? Because that's part of your mandate.
Without going into much details, Kenya is secure along its borders because of us in KDF. We will be judged by the effectiveness of how we perform our duty. And currently, by and large, other than some minor incursions which are reported here and there, we are secure. And even those incursions, they are not just happening, we are dealing with them.
Let's go back to your phrase, the one force, one mission. There's so much going into, militaries around the world. There's so much going into the modernization of the military to deal with emerging challenges. You can probably take us through what KDF is doing, of course, in line with your mission of one mission, one force, one mission.
Militaries all over the world evolve, and threats to national security change every day. So we must keep on evolving, equipping ourselves to be able to mitigate any emerging threats. So if you hear of military modernization, it's not just a time to go and buy more weapons. We evaluate the threats, the possible threats that are there, and how to mitigate them. And when we realize that some of the equipment or strategies that we have had have some gaps, then we modernize to close these gaps so that we are always capable of defending the Republic.
Let's talk about the upcoming recruitment of the officers of KDF, because that always attracts a lot of attention from Kenyans whenever that time comes. First of all, start by explaining to us why the recruitment is annual.
The military has a role, and to be able to perform this role, you require resources. The first and most critical resource is the human being. You need people, you need equipment, you need all kinds of resources. Now, we have a certain level of force, but as you know, mobility of labor is a common practice everywhere. There are people who leave for whatever reasons. So every year we have to recruit to be able to maintain the level of desired force level we require. And therefore we recruit to be able to cater for attrition, and also in the context of our modernization, achieve the desired force level that we require. That's the main reason why we recruit every year.